These football boots are GOATs, and not just because they originally came out in 2013, ran their course, were eventually discontinued, but so heavily requested to come back that Nike actually re-released them in original form back in 2019 and are still producing new colorways, but also because they are made out of goat leather. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nike Lunar Gato 2, seen here in the latest yellow, white, and black colorway that I happen to think looks incredible. They remind me so much of the Ronaldinho Dois or Dois, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. You know the boot, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and it also happens to be one of those indoor models that is an all-time favorite for me. There's a reason why Nike brought this back. It's incredibly comfortable. The touch on the ball from this goat leather upper is amazing, and you can get it for just $110, which isn't necessarily cheap, but it's not exactly expensive considering what you're getting for the money. And what I want to do in this video is kind of do another overview on what the Lunar Gato 2 is all about for those that maybe forgot or maybe didn't even know these existed in the first place. There's a reason why Nike is still making them, and that's what I want to talk about in this video, including how they fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more and maybe looking for a new pair of indoors, the info in this video should help you out. Be sure to stick around. And if you are by chance interested in a pair for yourself, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below. That's going to take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal retail price. As always, if you guys do end up enjoying the video and want to see more indoor boot content on the channel, please don't forget to support this one with a like, and let me know what you'd like to see next down below in the comments. Also, guys, we are so close to 700,000 subscribers on this channel. So if you do watch the content, you enjoy it, and aren't already subscribed to the channel, it would mean the world to me if you could hit that subscribe button along with the little bell notification so you don't miss out when the next new video goes live. So what makes the Lunar Gato so special? Because we don't often see Nike remaking a football boot in OG form from 8 years ago and making it readily available. Maybe as a limited drop, but as a general release like this that's pretty uncommon to see. And that's because the Lunar Gato 2 really hits the sweet spot as far as comfortable indoor boots are concerned. You have a combination of goat leather and hyperfuse material on the upper. The hyperfuse runs through the lateral side of the midfoot, and as you can see, is kind of like a slightly open mesh. There is some breathability to it. It's not as ventilated in terms of feel as I think a lot of people would expect. And of course, this design goes all the way through the heel where you have solid lining material, so there's no breathability there. It's just this small little section through the midfoot. Nonetheless, it keeps the upper nice and lightweight. It minimizes the bulk, and it actually has some pretty decent structure considering how thin it is without being too stiff against your foot, which of course adds to the overall comfort factor. Then the rest of the upper, aside from the tongue, is made from goat leather, which I know goat leather is not one that we often see in football boots. We don't see it from any other model from Nike, but I would compare it most closely to their high-end kangaroo leather material. It is incredibly soft and just offers a phenomenal touch on the ball. It's not super thin, so it still has that little bit of a padded sensation to it, which I personally really like the feel of, and it just works well in combination with this hyperfuse material. Yes, there's a pretty harsh transition between padded and super thin with no padding at all, but you don't feel the transition when you're wearing the boots, and in general, it just feels like a very cohesive design. Of course, you have this really cool kind of quilted stitching pattern highlighted in black stitching here on the medial side. I love the fact that this entire area of the foot is leather. That gives you that super soft touch on the ball. There's a little bit of a seam right here. Again, not one that you actually feel. And you have more of that quilted leather with a little bit of a sandpaper grit texturing kind of protective layer running through the toe box and forefoot area. The one thing I will say about the goat leather is that long term, for whatever reason, it's not so much a durability issue, it's more so an issue with the dye not sticking to the upper. So as you wear them, you'll find that some of the color may start to wear off. The boots are fine, the leather is fine, but for whatever reason, this goat leather just doesn't seem to hang on to its color all that well. Which, if I'm being honest, I kind of like the look of a pair of worn out Lunar Gato 2s, having those wear patches from where you've made contact with the ball over and over again. I don't know, it's kind of like battle scars. I just like it. The laces run directly down the middle of the foot, and it kind of has a similar design to what you found on the Nike Tiempo Legend 5, where it's a shallower central lacing system, leaving you with a little bit of an extended forefoot area clean of any laces. It works given what they've done with this upper and where the structure is positioned. And then the underside is, of course, where you're gonna find a padded mesh tongue that's kind of just thick, very fluffy memory foam, I guess is the best way to describe it. Personally, I would still like that to be leather like the rest of the upper, but as it is, it's very comfortable. And when you want to tie the laces tight, having that extra padding really does do its job in terms of preventing any kind of lace bite. And with the laces tied tight, it compresses that foam so much that it's really not something that I would say is all that noticeable when you're actually playing in the boots. It just feels comfortable, which ultimately I think is what Nike was going for here. Of course, the boots feature a low cut design. The heel liner is a soft mesh material on either side of the ankle, but then a really nice synthetic suede directly at the back of the heel, which is better for durability as well as better in terms of gripping your socks and preventing your heel from sliding around. The lockdown in this boot, especially through the heel and midfoot, I think is top notch. Then the insole is fully removable. I'll give you guys a quick look at that. It's a little bit thicker than what you're gonna find on most cleated football boots in that it's an ortholite foam, red in color, has really good sponginess to it, and then of course just features a standard mesh liner on the surface. Moving to the midsole and outsole, this is where I think the Lunar Gato really does a good job of providing a premium underfoot feel, is that you get the Lunar Lawn cushioning running through the heel and midfoot, and then it tapers off quite a bit as you get to the forefoot and toe box area, which means that you get this nice blend of good cushion without the boots feeling like you're too high off the ground. And unlike so many Lunar Lawn branded Nike indoors over the years, this is full Lunar Lawn all the way through the heel. Often what they'll do is they'll do an outside shell of softer foam and then kind of like a Lunar Lawn insert. That just doesn't have the same feel as straight up Lunar Lawn all the way through, which is what you get here. There's some flex grooves, and it just has this good combination of good impact protection, meaning that you feel the cushion underneath your feet, but it doesn't squish too much. It still has that bounciness and responsiveness that admittedly will wear a little bit as you wear the boots in. It's part of the reason why Lunar Lawn is not so much a flagship material from the Nike brand anymore. But as far as an implementation on a pair of indoor boots is concerned, I think it works extremely well. You're of course going to find that the white area through the forefoot and toe box area is solid rubber. That's the outsole that just kind of lips up over the edge. Nylon stitching running through the forefoot and toe box area as well to prevent any separation between the upper and the outsole. And then speaking of the outsole, the traction pattern is not my favorite. This is the one area of the boot that I think could have some significant improvement to it, where you kind of have these wavy flex grooves that if the court is dusty at all, it clogs up really, really easily and just doesn't provide much in the way of traction. And then you can see this outside edge of the forefoot is just a bunch of perforations. Again, grips really nicely on the ball, doesn't grip floors quite as well, but does seem to hold up decently well long term. So from a durability standpoint, it's okay given how thin the rubber actually is in an attempt to kind of keep the weight of the boot down overall. But as far as overall traction is concerned, I would say it's slightly below average. As far as weight is concerned, again, Lunar Gato 2 does not disappoint. In a size 10 US, which I'll explain in just a second, the boots weigh in at 9.35 ounces, the equivalent of 265 grams, which is actually below average for a lot of high-end indoor boots that hover right around the 10-ounce mark in this size. So if you're looking for a lightweight feel, but also an upper that is comfortable with really solid underfoot cushioning, you're getting that from the Lunar Gato 2. So here they are on feet, and I'm not really one to wear super flashy boots anymore, but something about regular yellow accented with the white and black just looks so good to me on this boot. I love the detail of the black quilted stitching. They look modern, but also have that kind of old school charm about them. And I also have them paired up with some black Pure Grip Socks Pro, which for those that don't know is my own brand of grip socks. This new Pro variation features an upgraded material that's super soft, super stretchy, and just very comfortable on your feet with, of course, the grips along the bottom and the back of the heel, available now in a wide variety of colors for just $16.99 a pair. If you're interested in trying some for yourself, the website to visit is puregripsocks.com, which of course will be linked down below. Now, as far as how these fit and feel on feet, they're just some of the most comfortable indoor boots that money can buy. The goat leather upper is extremely soft and just feels broken in out of the box, although as you wear them in, it is going to stretch. Keep that in mind. The hyperfuse material hugs the side of your foot really nicely, provides good structure with the laces tied tight without feeling stiff or rigid. Of course, the padded tongue does a really good job of cushioning the laces across the top of your foot so you don't get any issues with lace bite. Heel lockdown is fantastic with that synthetic suede material running along the back. And then the Lunar cushion setup is both really good in terms of impact protection, but it still feels nice and low profile. And the boots as a whole have really good flexibility to them. As far as width is concerned, because of the more traditional layout, as far as the design of the upper is concerned, they will fit just about anybody, even if you do have wider feet, which makes them great for a wide variety of foot types. And then as far as sizing is concerned, the Lunar Gato 2 has always run a little bit short. Normally I would wear them in a size 9.5 US. This pair is a 10, so half a size larger than I would normally wear. And what I was finding is that I was kind of ramming the front part of the lip here of the outsole, and it was causing a little bit of pain, mainly on my second toe. So I wanted to try them in a 10, and honestly, they're a little bit bigger than I would like them to be. I feel like I'm kind of in between sizes with this one, but I think for most people, going true to size because of the stretch of that goat leather is probably the way to go. But if you are looking for that little bit of extra space, or you find that your boots are a little too snug at the moment, maybe going half a size up would be worth trying out. But I think for most people, true to size is probably going to be your best bet. So in conclusion, should you buy the Lunar Gato 2? If you don't mind wiping constantly, if the cord is a little bit dusty, then the answer to that question is 100% yes. These are incredibly comfortable. The underfoot cushioning is awesome, and it's just one of those boots that just feels good on your feet. Think of this almost as Nike's interpretation of a modern day Adidas Samba. It came out in 2013. It was excellent then. It was discontinued. People wanted it back. They brought it back. It's still good now. It's a classic, and one that I hope that they continue to release in new colorways for the coming years, because it's just that good. Anyways, guys, that's it for my review. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to support it with a like. Again, if you're interested in a pair for yourself, first link down below, go ahead and check that out. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get an answer out to you. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with the little bell notification so you get notified when the next new video goes live. You can find all my social media information linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.